Family, what it do? It's your girl Toot, and I am back with another video. Shout out to the squad, you know what I'm saying? Drip said I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's all you got to do to support the channel, and it's absolutely free. All right, we back on the road to 1K. Help me get there. You know what I'm saying? I think we like 200 away. We got into tomorrow to get there. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. But listen, we got some new charges for Mr. Butts. Now, a lot of people was very confused on to who these charges belong to. I'm not the brightest bulb, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, in the pack, but I really believe this has something to do with Janiyah. Okay, we have went over all of the testimonies of all of the people that we have reacted to. I think we have reacted to every child. Shout out to Debo. Debo's in the chat right now. We went over the written testimony of Brooklyn and things like that. And in that particular testimony, Janiyah was actually brought up, and we're not going to be hearing anything about a new trial, like I said, until February 23rd, and even then there would just be a jury selection only. Okay, but we're going to go over some of this testimony, and then we're going to go from there. Shout out to everybody. Let's get it. Hold on one second.
Detroit man charged in the death and disappearance of 13-year-old Neziah Harris now faces more charges for separate crime. 42-year-old Jarvis Butts is accused of sexually assaulting an 8-year-old relative.
Now, this right here is an 8-year-old relative, okay? And I think they're not saying what relative right now. But when you're talking about 8 years old, you feel what I mean? I'm thinking that this 8-year-old, it had to be, because this dates back. So when you think about it, you got to think about the timeline. So the charges is stemming back from some years. Everybody else in the house would have been too young. So the only person that it could have been is Janiyah, or maybe someone who we don't know about. But a lot of people was inboxing me, asking me if it was a lot of different people. Some people asked me if it was Brooklyn. Brooklyn would have been actually very young at this time. And I don't think that from when I read the testimony, and her father's on here right now, you know what I'm saying, I don't think that anything actually had a chance to happen with Brooklyn, because I feel like Jarvis would probably be up underneath the dirt. If you met Debo, you understand that that wouldn't have, no, you feel me? So I'm thinking that this might be Janiyah. We're going to look at some testimony. I think Sai sent me some testimony that we had looked at a while back, to where we can be able to depict and be able to see if it was Janiyah. But like I said, I know that it was mentioned that Janiyah, that Neziah was not the only victim. And when you think about him not caring about any of his daughters, we did react to the 20-year-old daughter. You feel what I mean? And some of the things, or when she was touched by this man, it was dating back to when she was young. So I wouldn't put it past it. That's why I say you got to pray for every baby that was in that house at this particular time, because I wouldn't put it past it. None of the girl child. You feel what I mean? You said, check my text. Let me check my text. Let me see. It's his other daughter. Okay. Okay, it's his other daughter. It's Debbie said it's the daughter under Janiyah. Wow. You know, I don't like this nigga. It's disgusting. He's disgusting.
Investigators say it happened.
Shit, Sweets. Hold on. When did Sweets just do that? Sweets, what the fuck? Sweets, what kind of gifted was that? Sweets with the 10 gifted. Valorant. Thank you, family. Thank you so much, Sweets W sub in the chat. Yeah, I believe if they did, then Janiyah is definitely probably a victim as well. It's just the facts.
To the girl several times at his workplace over the course of a year. Butts was charged with first and second degree criminal sexual conduct today. He's also charged with sexually assaulting and murdering Neziah Harris.
When you think about this nigga, right? When you go back and you listen, like, so many things was done at this workplace. And it's sickening. I wish they'd burn that motherfucker 9,000 Connors to the ground. You dig what I mean? Because that particular address has, like, brutalized and hurt so many young women in there. And it's sickening.
Investigators say it happened to the girl several times at his workplace over the course of a year. Butts was charged with first and second degree criminal sexual conduct today. He's also charged with sexually assaulting and murdering Neziah Harris in 2024. His trial in that case is set to begin next month. The latest. That case is set to begin next month. The latest on this, and very disturbing here, Camille.
Yeah, very disturbing to say the least. We're talking about 42-year-old Jarvis Butts. I'm sure his name sounds familiar to our viewers. Take a look at some video in court today. Charged with sexually assaulting his own daughter. She was just 8 years old at the time. Prosecutors say this happened between June of...
I'm so sick of him having haircuts and shit. You know, it pisses me off because, I mean, this man, my heart breaks for Neziah, because if he didn't care about his own daughters, you can only imagine how he would have felt about Neziah and other members of the family. Nobody was safe when it came down to this grown-ass man. You feel what I'm saying? And the fact that the judge and everybody keep allowing him to wear masks is starting to piss me off. Straight up. Now, Shannon does have a warrant for her arrest, and I told you guys this when I was in Detroit. It has to do with insurance, though. But I do think that they're sending a trap. I think the insurance is just a way to lure her up there. Hopefully, Jarvis' ass is talking. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But I'm not understanding why they allow him to do that. If he had his mask off when he was hurting these kids, I think he should have his mask off and face everybody in this courtroom. It pisses me off that the COVID ain't going on no more. It ain't enough cold in the world. It ain't enough flu in the world. Take the mask off. You know, and I think the judge should order him to do such. It's like they're giving him too many privileges as being what he done. Treat him like the scum of the earth that he is.
2021 and June of 2022. Of course, his name is familiar because he was accused of the kidnapping and murder and sexual assault of 13-year-old Neziah Harris in 2024, arrested last fall. He's been in jail ever since on those charges. But since then, several more charges involving criminal sexual conduct and young girls dating back to 2012. And then today, we learned he allegedly sexually assaulted his daughter at his place of work.
Now, 2012 is just what we know of. I interviewed a young lady who we went back farther than that. She was almost like Jarvis's first victim. Men like him is a walk in the park because so many grown ass women been letting him get away with it. The women that's around him need to be crucified right along with him. I don't give a fuck about none of them, the men or the women. I want to bite all of them, straight up. He's a coward. He's a sissy. Any man who would share some ramen noodles with him in the jail should be questioned. I don't care what nobody say.
Take a listen.
He has done it multiple times. On top of that, there was a witness who caught the defendant penetrating the complaining witness. And Your Honor, it should be noted that he is facing other multiple CSC charges.
Now, Butts was remanded to the Wayne County Jail, where he has been ever since last fall. No bond for him in any of these cases. Meanwhile, he'll be back in court on this case on October 8th. Reporting live, Camille and Mary, Fox 2 News.
Well, it's so very sad, Camille. I know there are allegations, but are there possibilities of other victims out there that investigators may be looking into?
I mean, yeah, and nothing is off the table, right? And they are investigating all possible leads, and prosecutors say that this guy... They say he's an expert groomer, and they say that he would actually befriend women, date women specifically
for
to
their
get
children.
To their daughters.
Yep.
This has just been a horrific story we've been following ever since it broke last year, and we'll continue to bring you details. Karen, back to you.
Well, please have them. Thanks so much, Camille.
As you can see, these are actually the charges right here. The state of Michigan against Jarvis Butts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you can read this, but, you know, the video will be on Tootie UNCENSORED, so you'll be able to blow it up and do all of the good things that you need to be able to see. You feel me? But it tells you right here that this went back to, let's look at here. It's, let me see, 9/24. The offense date was June 16th of 2021 at 9:30 a.m. You feel what I mean? Here's the officers and everything that's associated with it. So it's criminal sexual conduct, first degree, under 13. You know what I'm saying? Second offense. The findings and disposition date, the plea date, all of that stuff is on here as well. Yeah, so he had not only that charge, it was a total of 2. So yes, and this was, they said, you know what I mean, a number of offenses. So he slept with her more than once here. The warrant was entered into the lien right here, 9/25/25. You see, let me see miscellaneous actions. Let me see schedule for arraignment. We got that here. Warrant cancellation requested. I don't know how they can even cancel this shit. They know what he is. It's actually just sickening to me. So yeah, I have all of the things and all of the case notes. So if you guys want to take a look at that, it will be actually up for the up in the video or whatever. And this is also the rest of his charges in case people want to see that as well. This nigga got a long criminal history of everything. I mean, it's sickening. I don't understand how women can keep letting this man come out. And as you can see, he got some fire and possession charges, you know what I'm saying, some firearm charges, but most of all of his things is just sexual conduct, criminal sexual conduct, child sexually abusive, you know what I'm saying. The dude has just been sick. These mothers are sick. There's nowhere in the world that Shannon didn't know what the fuck she was dating. There's no way that no woman knew what the fuck they was dating when it comes down to this man. And as you can see, we got more stuff here. Charges, Jarvis Ramon Butts, you know what I'm saying, June 16th, 2021. Criminal section conduct, first degree, person under 13, defendant 17 year. Criminal section conduct, second degree, person under 13. And then criminal sexual conduct, second offense notice. You know what I'm saying? So these are relatively, this new charge that's going on is relatively new, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot more. Now, as you can see on 9/24/2025, they had a recommendation for a warrant. I don't understand how they can do that when a nigga's been in jail already, but yeah, you see that here. So I have that available for you guys to be able to see. I'm going to continue to bring you the updates when it comes down to this case because he makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. When I started actually reviewing this case, it did something to me that I just cannot even understand. Now, I'm going to also let you take a look at this as well. And this is from September 26th of 2025. Jarvis Butts charged in a sexual assault of female relative. It says prosecutor Kim Worthy, you know what I'm saying, has charged Jarvis Ramon Butts of 42 of Detroit in connection with the sexual assault of his then 8-year-old female relative, also of Detroit. We know now that female relative was his daughter, okay? Between June 16th of 2021 and June 16th of 2022, so a whole year, he was assaulting his daughter, you know what I'm saying, at an auto repair shop in the 1700 block of East Warren Avenue in Detroit. Now, this was outside of the 9000 Connor. We know that Naziah was taken to the 9000 Connor, but it looked like she was also, and a host of other relatives was also taken to the 1700 block of East Warren Avenue in Detroit. It is alleged that the defendant Butts sexually assaulted the then 8-year-old victim. More complete facts and evidence will be placed on the record in the court of the preliminary examination. Jarvis Butts has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct and second-degree criminal sexual conduct. He was arraigned and remanded to jail this morning in the 36th District Court before Magistrate Delphia Burton. The probable cause conference is scheduled for October 8th, 2025. Now, I don't want people to get that confused with Naziah. The October 8th will be for this particular crime, okay? Naziah's jury trial selection will not happen until February 23rd. I don't want you guys to get confused about what's going on. This will have nothing to do with Naziah. This will be having everything to do with the daughter that was touched back in June, okay? And the preliminary examination is scheduled for October 15th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. for Sean Jacqui. Now, the 8th and the 15th, so that's going to be a week apart. You feel what I mean? I know Agent Cody Banks, when I just seen the video, when I seen this damn address, I said, damn, Cody had just sent me this other shop that he be at. Please request a photograph of the defendant from the Detroit Police Department. So as you can see, this dude, he was on a tear. He's ridiculous. Now, this is what's really sad about Jarvis. He had no remorse of the people he hurt in front of the kids. When you're looking at certain testimony, and I'm gonna just scan to certain parts. We've already went over the testimony of Brooklyn, or whatever, but she have said, even in her testimony, that he would do this in front of them. He had no care in the world. So even if he wasn't touching a child, what he was doing was trying to groom a child by doing these type of acts in front of other children to make it seem like it's okay. They see the older cousins doing it. They feel like it's okay when they have a one-on-one with this man. And it's very sad. I want to say shout out to Brooklyn so bad. I had an opportunity to meet this young girl. And when I tell you that she has more courage in her body than a lot of grown women. Never seen it. I think she was the one who brought us all the tears when it came down to the balloon release, because we see the damage that is happening to these children in real time. And a lot of people think that a nigga get caught and then it goes away. You know what I'm saying? I watched Debo have to be a father and a mother to this girl all at once. You know what I'm saying? Because her gripe is not going to end here. She's going to always have nightmares. She's going to always have these down moments. And it's not fair that, you know, he can be over there getting haircuts and shit. You feel me? When these young girls are having to learn how to repair their lives. That's why I just wish somebody would just get him. I want somebody to get him so bad. Ooh. So yeah, he tried to touch her, but she went against the grain and she went and told her daddy, and I'm thankful that her dad was there to listen. Because here's the thing, we have so many parents where this type of shit falls on deaf ears. Her mother being one, you know. She went to her mom. In her testimony, she'll tell you, I went to my mom, and her mom did absolutely nothing. Which means, you know what I'm saying, it's one of those learned behavior situations to where it was probably done to Shannon and Marquita, and they feel like, shit, it was done to me. Hey, welcome to the world, baby girl. That's how they think. It's sick. It's a sick way of thinking, but so many mothers, so many fathers are getting trapped into those circles. So I want to say continuously, shout out to her dad for being able to say, hey, I'm not finna ignore this. This will be heard. My daughter will be heard. And because he heard her, it just she got a different love that's gonna just it's just gonna be so awesome. But yeah, we're now going back to Brooklyn's testimony. It makes it very sad. Because she witnessed this man hurting people, even when she wasn't being hurt. So to be able to see her cousins and shit, you know what I'm saying, be touched and stuff in front of people is sad. I'm not gonna go through everything, but there was a part on here. One time it was me, my then cousin, my cousin Isaiah, and my other cousin Janiyah. He said he was going to take us to the store, but we end up at his job. As you can see, he's always going to that damn shop. But we ended up at this job, and I believe that this was the one when he was at the 1700 address, not the 9000 Connors, okay? He was trying to have sex with my cousin Naziah, okay? Okay, so this one time you're talking about who's all there. You, Naziah, and Janiyah. Shaking my head, that is a yes. So this is the thing. Even if at this particular time, the only person that was being assaulted was Naziah, you have Brooklyn and you have Janiyah there to witness this. It's the same type of trauma. And I want people to understand that. It's the same type of trauma. Just seeing something that you're not supposed to see like that is crazy as hell. You know what I mean? It was a red and yellow, looked like a castle. And Janiyah, I'm going to show you some photos. They're already admitted, I believe, as People's 4. She's talked about certain things in here. If you missed this video, all you have to do is go back and you can watch it in its entirety. I want to go to the part what I'm talking about. Okay, now this is the first time we're talking at the job. At his job with you, Naziah, and Janiyah. What happens there? He was having sex with Naziah. Okay, when you say having sex, tell me what you mean. And she say what people do. You feel what I mean? This little girl is supposed to be enjoying life right now, and she has to deal with this part. They break it down and they ask about what body parts, and she said his private part. What does he use his private part for normally? She says, look, to go to the bathroom. So she basically knows exactly what she's saying with this. So his private part that he uses to pee. And what part of an desire are we talking about? And she says her butt. You know what I mean? It always pisses me off when I have to go through this type of thing. But I'm bringing this up because, as you can see, the new charges that's stemming from him, he once again took another 8-year-old back to the same place to do what he was doing with Neziah to another daughter. And it's sad. So you know if it was done to Neziah and this other daughter, then you know that it was probably done to Janiah too. And that's the part that I'm talking about, you guys. These little girls are going through a lot of trauma. And being the fact that kids talk, right? There's no way that Marquita or Shannon did not know. There's no way that Annette did not know. And this is some sick shit. You feel what I mean? And this is what I want to say. They ask, what is Jarvis' body doing? It's going in and out. So you basically know exactly what is going on. And it's sad. I hope he goes up underneath the jail. But yeah, that is his updates on his charges. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a lot more. There's going to be some that I feel like the statute of limitations have exceeded. But for these 8-year-olds and these 12-year-olds and a lot others, there is going to be, there's definitely going to be some ramifications that's happening for him. Okay, so yeah, he violated all of them babies. And here's the thing, he had a pick. Even in this testimony, Brooklyn made it clear that she did not have to tell her mother, she did not have to tell her auntie that she was leaving with this dude. She could just leave. We seen Isaiah being able to go down to his car at 2 a.m. So yeah, or whatever. She also said in here in the same testimony, the next time I remember, it was me, Janiah, and my other cousin Jalea. So I almost want to say this is probably one of the times where his daughter was touched. Because it don't seem like Neziah was there at this particular time, but it looks like it was Janiah, Jalea, and things like that. So, but if you scroll down, oh yeah, if you scroll down, this was a time where she pretty much admitted that he did have sex with Janiah. Because at this particular time, what happens at this time, he was doing it with Janiah. Hi, Stust. I was on Twitchy. Okay. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. So yeah. So I guess we can throw out. A lot of us was trying to figure out if Janiah was once a victim. I didn't really need to see this to know that she was, but as you can see, she probably was. And this is something different than that was happening with Neziah. She said the same thing. Okay, where's Jalea when this is happening? She was like across from me. And how old were you at the time? I was 8. Yeah, bullshit. So we can tell just from Brooklyn's testimony that Jalea, Janiah, and Neziah, we can say with 100% certainty was victims of Neziah. And thank God for Brooklyn being able to decipher it being wrong and having the courage to tell her daddy. She went to go tell her mother, but her mother did absolutely nothing. So I'm happy that she told her dad and he handled the situation appropriately. And one of the things that broke my heart when it came down to Debo is because even though his daughter was very honest, he still feels so terrible for not being there to protect her. And the thing about it is, I just want to just encourage him that he did the right thing. He continues to do the right thing. The dude is a beautiful soul. Shawty, I have never met a big teddy bear like him in my life. But don't get it twisted. He would beat your ass. But no, I'm just being honest. I had an opportunity to meet him, and he's just somebody who I've like really grown to love. I watched him not only with Brooklyn, but I watched him with his stepson, who he calls his son, and this is Marquita's son. He didn't have to do the father thing to him, but he did it, and he made it a point to where, what I'm saying, these siblings could grow up together. You know what I'm saying? Zach can be grown up with his sister, and it takes a real man to be able to do that. You feel me? To take on somebody else's children and raise them like yours. So I just want to say shout out to Debo, man. Y'all make sure y'all continue to show Debo love. Y'all continue to make sure y'all follow him on Facebook. He's a sweetheart. You feel what I mean? Like, y'all gotta make sure y'all do that. All right. Did any boys get touched? I'm almost willing to believe that they did. This to me was a house of horrors. I don't think that Vari is out here rebelling the way that he did if he did not see some things or have to do some things. I just really believe that. I think that all of these kids is going to need therapy, boys and girls. I think there should be no kid, and I mean no kid, that should be without therapy if they ever touch down in that house. There's just no fucking way. You feel what I mean? There's just no fucking way. Yeah, so we're going to move on to the next vid, but that is the update for Jarvis so far. Again, the jury selection for Naziah's trial would be February 23rd of 2026. He is on the docket October 8th and the 15th for the upcoming charges on his then 8-year-old daughter that has nothing to do with Naziah. Those are two different cases. And I want you guys to support the other daughters and cousins and everybody else the same way that we did Naziah. We need foot on necks for this nigga's ass. And that's just all I'm going to say about that. Let's keep going.